Tip of
All
my hat.
right, welcome to yet another episode of Percolating Thoughts. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, my Apple Pencil. The tip is gone. Okay, sorry. Now we can start. I just needed to have that moment.
All right.
Continue.
Welcome to yet another episode of Percolating Thoughts featuring my dog that thinks she needs to be in every angle. So today, Belle and I are going to talk about our reading update. Now, I will say I've been a little bit behind. Granted, my reading goal is not that large this year just because I didn't meet it last year, and I've also just been a little busy. But one thing that Belle and I were talking about, kind of off camera was ACOTAR and how much convincing it took to get her to read that. And you said you're starting it for the second time?
Yeah.
So, I think it's some progress there. There's at least some progress there, but um,
Right.
so you read the entire series already?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I thought they were arguing.
It's okay.
Like, why is Sam yelling at Jeremy?
Um,
Okay, so sorry.
it's okay. You started it. You started the season for a second, or the books for a second time.
So I actually didn't finish the books the first time. I only read the first book and I hated it. And I still stand by that. I still hate it. I reread it. Well, I audio listened to it because I'd already read it because I needed like a refresh and I wanted to like see it with new eyes because I was at one of the bars in Knoxville that I love and I actually joined their book club. And then the bartender convinced me that I should give Akatar one more try. And I said, okay, um, you seem less biased than my friends who are just like, oh, you hate Akatar. Like, how dare you? Like, you're giving me, like, she was giving good reason. And I said, okay. And I was also like, when I first read Akatar, I wasn't into fantasy like I am now too. So I think I'm reading it with a whole different lens because I have read so much fantasy since I read that book. I think it was like 2.5 years ago. The story is I left the book in Brussels because I hated it so much. So in a hotel in Brussels, shout out to whoever found it. I
Wild.
did it the second time around. I just think I have a really hard time with world building.
Mm.
And I'm having Jer listen to it now too, and he's having a hard time with it too. So I feel very validated in my feeling. Um, but I don't know, Feyre is just so high school coded, and I think that just pisses me off.
Yeah. I haven't like started it. I've heard like good things about that. The one that this one Sarah J. Maas series that I have started and have not been able to get through like the middle books was oh my gosh, it's like literally right over here.
Throw to glass?
Yeah, Throne of Glass. Yeah, I cannot get through like the one like the tandem reads because it's just like it like gets to me. And I
Yeah.
know I could read them at the same time or read them separately or read one or the over the other, but I don't want to like do that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a sticky situation. And then also the next the I am on the final book of gosh, what was the one I was reading? Do you remember what I was reading? I like how I'm asking you.
I don't know what you were last reading. Is it
Oh,
updated on Goodreads?
nah, I mean
I can pull up
it
Goodreads.
is on Goodreads. Okay, Twisted the Twisted
Oh,
List.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I am on the final book of that, which is Twisted Lies, and I had read a few pages of that last week, which is definitely like some movement compared to when I have last read.
Right,
But then I also have Emma's book that I still need to read that the most recent one.
right.
So I'm a little behind, but I guarantee with the summer and with Monday being Memorial Day, the pool is open. Woo!
Yeah.
So I will be getting through some reads.
Yes.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished Crown of Midnight in the Throne of Glass series. shattered me, threw me out the window, rolled me over with the car, dropped me from an airplane. Like I am not the same person I was before I read that book. I think like I gasped like so many times. So I'm so excited to read Air of Fire now. And I'm gonna read Assassin's Blade fourth, um,
Hmm.
contrary to popular belief. But um no, I love Throne of Glass. And I think it's because she was so much younger when she wrote it
Hmm.
that like she had creativity. Like
Yeah.
when you're young, like imaginative play is so core to like you that I think like because ACOTAR was written as she got older, like in my opinion, don't shoot the messenger. Um, she like lost that imaginative creative play because the difference, especially since I'm reading both series is at the same time right now,
Hmm.
difference in how beautifully and fun written Throne of Glass is compared to ACOTAR is astronomical.
Yeah.
I'm on Aquarius of Fury right now. Ugh, it's a drag. It's such a drag.
Yeah.
But everyone says it gets better in this book, so we'll check in when I finish it. I don't think my feelings are gonna change, but I did start the Twisted series. I actually have the second book in my bag right now in hopes that
Oh.
I'll be able to read it this weekend.
And that took you a while to that took
Then
a lot of people a while to persuade you to read, and I know it's a little spicy, but
yeah, but I love Anna,
yeah.
and so I was like, it'll be fine. And then my friend Emily, shout out. Um, she ended up having the whole series, and she was like, I already read them, so you can have all of them. And I said, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to, gosh, I remember like a year ago, I bought a Kindle for graduation, and I feel like I have barely touched that, except for when I started the Twisted Love series. Like I was like always on my Kindle, and then now it just comes and goes in waves, you know?
yeah,
And I feel so upset about it. I thought I would not like my Kindle, and then I got it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. I can decorate it, take it with me wherever, and the Kindle app is awesome.
right.
Instead of just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not upset for being someone who likes to read, and I'm not embarrassed about that. But when people see you coming to a function with a book, they're like, what are you reading? What is that? Why are you doing that? Why don't you talk to your family?
Right,
What's going on? Come talk to us. No,
right.
I brought a book for a reason.
Yeah. That's like well, my Kindle lives in my purse. So I always have one book that I read on my Kindle and one usually that's in paperback.
Hmm.
Um, I've been really good about reading this year, guys. You would be very impressed.
What's your count?
I think I don't Fable's not working on my iPad right now, but let me see. I think I just hit 13.
Wow.
Yeah, 13. Um, as of when I finished Crowd of Midnight like 2 days ago. Um, and right now I have three on my TBR, but one I'm reading with my sister. So, but I'm reading A Court of Mist and Fury and Alice Feeney, Beautiful Ugly.
Hmm.
That's with the book club. That one's pretty good so far. Um, but I was reading Deep End earlier this month.
Right.
Hazelwood, and I took it to the bar during my cousin's graduation. And why did everybody need to ask me what I was reading? And at that point, I was like, I'm putting the book away because Deep End is
Focus.
purely smut, purely like literally Deep End is just purely smut. And I was like, I can't keep
I can't keep
pretending like I can't. Like there was like so many chapters I bookmarked while I was there because I was like, yeah, this is not a public read. But that's why I love the Kindle because nobody can see what you're reading.
Yes. Yes. And gosh, I can't wait to go up to okay, so my siblings are graduating in a few weeks, right? Crazy. And I had my dad has a pool and a hot tub, which might be working when I get up there. I don't know, but I'm so excited to sit there and just have my little drinkity drink and read. And my dad is, I think my love for reading comes from my dad, and my sister also loves to read, so she knows not to like bug me, and she's very good about like, hey, what are you reading? And I'll tell her, and she'll like give me recommendations or whatever, and then she'll
Right.
leave me alone and she'll just let me be. But like, we'll see if anybody else does. Um,
Right.
but that's definitely going to be prime reading time.
Yes. Leah
But
will be on her shit.
exactly, catching up.
No, that's like that's what's so hard, I think. Like, there's just not enough hours in the day and not enough days in the year.
Hmm.
My TBR keeps growing and growing, and then I keep buying books, and then I'm like, but this isn't the book I want to read next. This is like a book for a future read, so that I'm buying a book that I'm not reading for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've read so much faster this year because I'm like, I want to get to the next one.
Mhm.
Um, because I just bought the new Percy Jackson and I need to read that ASAP. ASAP Rocky.
I told myself to stop buying books. That said, I can't tell people what books I want for like my birthday or
Yeah,
Christmas and stuff, and I'm not going to stop them from buying them for
right.
me. Just
That's like well we have Books a Million here in Georgia and they have this bargain area and everything is like under $6.
yeah.
And so that's where I get trapped when I come home because I'm like, well, this book was only $5. Why wouldn't I get it?
Hmm.
And so I bought 2 books yesterday, and I bought 2 books last week, and yeah. But like they always have the more popular books in there. Like it's usually like a book that was hyped 3 months ago, and then they must have just like over ordered it or whatever. So they always have really good ones in the section. So it's not like I'm just buying some random book that like looked cute. Um, but yeah, I bought 2 yesterday. It's okay. I'll read them eventually.
Yeah, exactly. They're on the bookshelf. They will get read. One day you'll be bored and you'll be like, okay, cool.
Right. But I just like also need, I mean, we talked about this before. I need authors to stop releasing so back to back to back because that's also really hard.
Yeah.
And that's how I get trapped in the buying new books.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I want to read this while everybody else is reading it.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, but what about my other books? Like, I
Mm.
think that's why I'm gonna have a hard time with Throne of Glass because I want to read the
But like
third,
it's over.
but I also want to read all the other books on my TBR. So my method is like 2 fantasy, 1 romance. Then I can go back to fantasy.
Mhm.
Sometimes I need like that break in between the two is so necessary.
Yes,
Need a
absolutely.
little brain rot book. That's what Twisted is for me right now, my brain rot book.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy peasy stuff. For real. No, some of Mia Sheridan's books, like that was what it was for me, like in between some Throne of Glass books in the series. So I was just like, that's what it was. And then I went back to Throne of Glass for a minute. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't do these tandem reads.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think I'm gonna do
trying.
it. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I'm scared. So, but we'll
I
see.
think I think I'm just gonna be like, you know what, SGM released them in the order they were released in, and I fear I can't do a tandem read.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then what is my like then I had to have a third book that I'm reading too as like a buffer. Like that doesn't sound fun.
No. No.
And
No, and
then
I bookmarked all the chapters you're supposed to bounce back and forth for. So
yeah, I
I was
remember that.
mm-mm.
She's been on this tandem read for a while, guys.
Yeah, I have, and I think it's something that I'm just gonna kind of like table and then get to it when I get to it, and then if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. Like it's not the end of the world.
Right.
But
No, I also like spoiled ACOTAR for me because I just was like it was moving too slowly. So I know who she ends up with, guys. Don't worry.
you're so bad at that. You're so bad at that.
I'm sorry. I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, get to the fucking point. Like, I can tell. I need to be affirmed that I am right
Yeah.
in this theory.
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I am still not SJM's biggest fan. do love Throne of Glass though.
I
But
love
I also I like haven't heard good things about Crescent City either. And so
that makes me nervous because I bought the entire
oh sorry.
yeah.
I've heard that it's just a lot of world building and back and forth and really like like I heard the first book's really good and then the second book kind of goes downhill.
Yeah,
But hey, everyone has a different opinion. So
they do. They do. That's true.
is
So,
there I don't know what I was gonna say.
it's okay.
I'm
Oh,
so excited for
go
Sunrise on the Reaping movie to come out.
for what?
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yeah.
Casting is freaking insane. Prepare to be, I mean, obviously, I mean, my stories, I mean, prepare to be sick of me though. Like Elle Fanning, Kiernan.
There you go.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. So good.
You will
Please.
catch her in the movies every day.
I will like straighten my hair, do a little Katniss braid. I'll be in there. Mockingjay shirt.
Yeah. There
Better
you go.
come out with a specialty popcorn bucket too, because I want that. Take my money.
Take my money.
They come out with the Funko Pop, take my money. Um,
She's been
yeah, no,
influenced.
I have been because this book wrecked me and oh, it's so good, guys. If there's one book oh, maybe that's what I'll ask. There's one book I could tell you to read this year. It's Sunrise on the Reaping. What
Ooh.
would yours be?
Oh,
It doesn't have to be new. It can be like an old favorite. But if my personal will be a new one because I think if you were a Hunger Games dystopian fan, you need to read Sunrise on the Reaping.
that's a good one. Well, okay, from what I've heard, yeah. One of the ones that I guess out of all the books that I've read, like between this year and last year, I would say um any like Mia Sheridan book. Like she's so underappreciated, and we're talking here we are talking about Sarah J. Maas
Right.
or Suzanne Collins and all these other popular authors. We always also we should talk about Emma a lot, but like
Yeah.
want to support indie authors and everything, and people who are just like kind of starting up and getting
Right.
themselves known. But Mia Sheridan, I feel like, is very underrated. So and her books are really good. I will say if you do like spicy stuff, like her books are good. They have more of a storyline than
Right.
um a lot of spicy books, but also, I mean, yeah, I'd just say that
Have
would
you
be
read
a
Grayson's
recommendation.
Vow? 'Cause I've been looking at that one.
What?
Did you read Grayson's Vow? Because I've been
I
looking at that
did.
one.
I did read Grayson's Vow. That one was also a good one too. It was slow to start and I was like, this is kind of stupid. Why is this a book?
Yeah.
But then, you keep reading and there's like more and more like drama that happens and then you kind of figure it out from there. So
Yeah. No, that's kind of why I've liked book club because I mean I know I just joined, but because we're reading authors that like I haven't heard of, and I think like that is so important, and it also breaks up the genres that you're reading,
yeah.
and that's been nice to like read something totally different
Hmm.
than maybe I would have like picked up off the shelf at like I love a good fantasy and romance, but also love a thriller or like a mystery. And I feel like this book club has really leaned into that, and I've like found new authors through that. And so I agree. I think like branching out is so important, especially into those indie authors, just because we all know Tessa Bailey, we all know Lucy Score, we all know Suzanne and JK and Rebecca and SJM, but also like there's so many good smaller indie authors who have written like really good books. And I have so many on my TBR from them. Mhm. But I also feel like I also understand like if everybody's read it, like and not being able to have a conversation about it is also really hard. Um, but yeah. Yeah. So you know what? Join your local book club and read what they're reading because they're usually reading something that you totally never heard of. And
Absolutely.
so far, they've both been hits.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. All right. Is there anything else you want to add? Okay, cool. All right, and just to kind of talk about some tools to use when you're reading and tracking, and if you're trying to get into reading, we love Goodreads, we love Fable. Always we always do recommend like getting a Kindle if that's something that you want to get into. It definitely serves as a different platform to read your books on, and it's kind of like a library, gives you suggestions, that whole thing. Plus, you can link your Goodreads with your Kindle, so we'd love to see that.
And you can also get the Kindle app on all of your, like your phone, your iPad, your computer. So you don't even have to have a Kindle. You can
Yeah,
get Kindle fitted and read it on your phone.
exactly.
Also, Libby, support your local libraries.
hmm All right. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We always want to hear what you're reading. We want to hear if you have any suggestions, and just keep us in the loop on things like that. But anyway, I'll cut that out. Three, two, one.
Cheers.
Cheers.